What up, YouTube? Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm Sherry. Thank you so much for being here today. I appreciate it so much. I hope you're doing well and I hope everything is wonderful in your world. I'm here today just kind of reminiscing about a series that I used to do called Back in the Day. I was watching an Emily Noel video this morning, imagine that, and she was talking about the BALM products, and I thought, wow, you know, since I did a revamp of my palette storage, I've found all my BALM palettes, and I was like, wow, that was one of the first ones that I ever used, and some of the best quality that I had ever used up to that point. And so it made me think of my Back in the Day series, and I mentioned that in another video recently. I thought, why not start that up again? Because since I did all my reorganization, I know where all my palettes are. I'm starting to see some of my old loves and think, I want to use one of those again. So why not just restart the Back in the Day series? So the Back in the Day palette for today is the Nude Tude. I remember wanting this so much, and I remember thinking this was so flippin' expensive. And I think it was less than $30, but I thought that was super expensive at the time. And I thought it was the best quality ever. And I was so into neutrals at that point. I never even dove into color at that point. But I thought this was the cutest palette. I still really love the Balm and their play on words, like this is nude apostrophe tude, and inside there's some scantily clad ladies and the eyeshadows cover up their parts. And there's also some cute names, so I just kind of want to use this. It's got everywhere from light to dark. I don't really know what I'll do with it. Probably not something super dramatic, but I just want to get in here and see if I still love these the way that I used to. So if you'd like to see my Back in the Day, and it was a Saturday, if you'd like to see my Back in the Day the Balm Nude Tude palette eye look, then please keep watching. Guys, I'm not going to talk through this. I'm just going to use some editing and show you, or just point to what I'm using, or maybe I'll tell you the shade. You know me. I just kind of go with the flow, and whatever ends up happening, happens. So I'm excited to get back into this. It's so funny how going back to an old palette like this is like putting on a really good pair of camos or sweatpants. It just feels comfortable. Does that make sense to anybody? Let me get into this thing. Yay! I'm going to start off with the Coastal Scents BRC N51 brush, and all they have is this white shade, and it's super shimmery, so I'm not going to worry about my brow bone until later. So I'm going to go into the shade Stubborn. How appropriate. A shade called Stubborn for someone like me. Let me zoom in here actually. Boom. So I need a different brush, obviously. I'm going to start off with this BH Cosmetics blender. Isn't it funny how like you almost immediately know why you don't reach for something like this? Does not have a transition shade. Like, I am not a total snob. It's not like I can't grab a transition shade from somewhere else, but I'm going to try to make this work on its own. But I think that's sometimes why I don't reach for palettes, because it's not all inclusive and I don't want to have to pull from other things, especially when you're in a hurry. But I'm going to make this work. Going in with Stubborn. This has some shimmer in it, and it's actually showing, so I don't know that I love that, but we're just going to roll with it. I don't know about that. Now I'm going to go in with the ABH A25 with that same color and just see if I can get a little bit more pinky in the like actual crease, not above it. The shimmer in this, a lot of times you can shear out shimmers and it doesn't show up that much, but it's really showing up. But I think putting a matte shade over it will tame it down, and I think it'll go ahead and really brighten up my inner corner here, which might be nice. Sometimes things that don't work out the way you want them to end up being happy accidents, and you find a technique or a method or a color combination that you never would have chosen intentionally and you end up liking it. You guys know I can pretty much make anything work if I have time to work at it. I'm going to use the same brush and go into the shade Sultry, which is just kind of a warm mid-tone brown. Well, I'm honestly not loving the way this looks so far. I feel like I don't have very good pigment. It's kind of bothering me. So I'm going to go another direction. I did go ahead and try to do a halo eye type of shape. I haven't done that in a while, but I feel like everything on my eye is just super subtle. So I think I'm going to go into this burgundy shade, which is called Sexy right here. And I may add a little bit of this sleek dark brown with it, just depending. I'm just going to fiddle around with it and see what I can come up with. I have to admit that I'm not loving what I have so far. It's kind of patchy and I'm having a lot of trouble getting color to even show up here. But I'm going to go ahead and put that sleek color on my lower lash line and blend it out with Stubborn, the pinky color, and just go ahead and get my lash line done before I go in with the blank part, the shimmery part. Alright, and for the shimmery part, I'm going to go into Standoffish and put that in the blank area, and then I'm going to use Sultry on my inner corner and potentially a little bit on my brow bone. Alright, so that was struggle bus time, and I mean, this is just what I'm going to leave it. I think once I put some liner and lashes and mascara on, I think it'll be wearable and fine. But it's so funny, and I've said this so many times, I'll say it again. As a makeup addict and you evolve and your collection grows and you try different formulas and different brands, the ones that you start off with that you think are so fabulous, and they are fabulous in comparison to anything that you've tried before, when you return to them, sometimes they have lost their luster, like literally lost their luster. I think back in the day though, and it was a Saturday, I think back in the day it was easier to have these kind of not so pigmented shadows because you didn't go in with a heavy hand, or you could go in like a beast and it didn't make some mark on your face that you could never blend out, like some, like Lorac shadows or like Jeffree Star that are super pigmented and you have to be super careful. And so I think for beginning people, for beginners, I think these are excellent palettes, and I don't think they're terrible, but I just kept wanting more and more and more from it, and it wasn't giving it to me. Makeup snob. So I'm gonna go ahead and go off camera and put on all the rest of the eye stuff, and we'll rejoin to do a lippy, and then we'll be out of here. Okay guys, I'm back. This is the finished eye look. I did a little baby wing, and I put on some pretty simple lashes. They're the Kiss Poise lashes, and they're a more natural lash, but they're nice and flirty and flary on the outside there. So I think it's a wearable, pretty look. I'm not like, woo, look how fantastic my eyes look. I'm not feeling that way, but it is pretty and subtle, so I can live with it. Alright, so I wanted to use this Gerard lippy called Berry Smoothie. It's just a beautiful color, and I think it blends well. I think it'll add a little more color to my face, which is what I am wanting. And I'm going to use the Melrose Place lip liner. So let's get that on my face. Alright, let me back you out. I love this lippy. I think it's gorgeous. I love the Gerard Bullet lippies. They're just moisturizing and beautiful colors, and they just always make every look so much prettier. But anyway, so again, I'm going to strike a pose. And that's it for me, you guys. So thank you for joining me for my, I can't even think of the word, restart, reinvigoration, renewal, revamp, relaunch. There it is. Relaunch of my Back in the Day series using the Nude Tude by the BALM. This is what we ended up with. Thank you again for joining me. I appreciate it so much. If you enjoyed the video, please give me a thumbs up and subscribe if you haven't already. And until next time, take care and God bless. Bye, guys.